I'm talking about the people that was supposed to be recording.
We doing the audio.
It's audio right now.
It's audio
It's on
right
the chip.
now. We active. It's Moles and Money. You know how we coming. You know we back at it like a crack at it. You know the slogan every time. It's King Cash, and I got a nice guest with me today. I got the Peerspace host. Who you know gonna have the Peerspace host with them?
It was so random. Thank you.
Please introduce yourself.
My name is Jeanette Maya. I am the owner and the manager of 1027 Grand here in East Williamsburg. I run a production space here and also a recording studio in the city, which is under construction now, which I'm excited about. So it is a booming business right now, so I'm really happy. Thank you.
So you got multiple recording studios.
I got one production space, which is this one, and then one recording studio space that has 3 different rooms.
Trying to tell y'all, big moves, entrepreneur, big moves. So like we was talking before, we was talking about how school may not always be essential for people, all right? So please give us your story. How did you become a business owner? How did you tap into this industry, and how did you find your path?
So I don't have an education in production or in the things that you see here, like podcasting or, videography or photography. Those are self-taught. A lot of it was through experience, and a lot of it was literally me working for free as an internship in an internship when I was younger, and then later building the skills and then establishing it. And here we are. The business skills of owning and putting together an actual, company and, the accounting and all of that I learned from my mom, because she used to own a cleaning company. Mm-hmm. And she was, she didn't speak any English. She was an immigrant that came from Honduras, and she needed a lot of help translating. So I ended up doing a lot of the translating, which worked in my favor because I actually was learning the process as she was learning. Mm-hmm. And so I helped her build her company. And then I was only 11 years old when I built the first company.
11. Mm-hmm. So you didn't had this business experience since a youngin'. Yeah. I noticed a lot of immigrant children, and not to say immigrant children like that, but a lot of children that are from overseas and other countries, they have more business etiquette and business knowledge than the average American.
Yeah, because they're forced to be hustlers. That's what they are. Mm-hmm. At the end of hustler is another word for, it's another word for business person, I think, but it's just business entrepreneur is just a fancy way of saying hustler, honestly.
Yeah, I think hustler is the street terminology mm-hmm. for a good entrepreneur. Because all the hustlers that we know is supposed to be drug dealers, right? And nowadays scammers. But those same people had the mindset to build Fortune 500 companies. They just didn't have the right, guidance to go that way, or to put their money into certain things and other than what they was.
Yeah, they just lack certain knowledge, but the process is still the same. You still got to create an experience, still got to sell something, you still got to, build, something out of nothing. So that's pretty much the same, except for some have the funds to go to school, to have it properly put in a book, and some don't.
So do you think going to school, did you go to school?
I went to school for nursing because I needed that as a backup, and I became an LPN, and that was a 2-year course thing that you do, and in Florida you get licensed to become I became a hospice nurse for those people who were gonna pass. So I was their caretaker, and so I saw a lot of people pass away.
Oh, okay. That's a little traumatizing.
No, it's not. It's part of life. I understand. I understand what that means, that part of death, and so I embraced it as a good thing, not as a trauma.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. That's what we say when people pass. It should be a celebration of life and not just a sad mourning funeral.
Yeah. So I went to school for that. That's really about it. I started psychology, and I was telling you earlier, dude, I was lazy. I was partying a lot. I was smoking. I was young. I was, I wanted to be with my friends. I wanted to travel, and I didn't feel like I needed to finish school, and I just kind of gave up. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little smoking weed at a young age definitely made me procrastinate on years that I shouldn't have.
And we got a bunch of youngers that smoke weed right now at 13 and 12 and 11. It's going crazy. Really? I mean, a lot of people kind of started around that age, but the way the kids smoke now is like they chain smokers, and they don't even know what they smoking. Like we said, the generations, the decades is broken up, right? So the millennials, they say is from 84 to 95, right? Or 84 to 94, whatever the 10-year guess is, right? Everybody after that would be Gen Z or Gen Alpha, right? I'd be asking certain people questions like, would you have done the things that the kids are doing now? Some people say yeah, because they would have had the access to it. Other people say no, because it's too much. They don't know what's going on. I feel like everybody just is a free for all. It's YOLO. Like, you only live once, so I'm gonna try anything. And I'd be so confused because we kind of started smoking young, but I wasn't. I used to call myself an occasional smoker when I was young.
No, I think we were more experimental. Like, see what this is gonna be like. Okay, and do it once, and then like go and do some other. Right. Be a regular kid. Play with basketball or whatever. Do whatever we were doing.
These kids be automatically like, let me get high.
Let me get.
And I'd be like, where did you get this from? I mean, I guess they got it from us seeing us smoke around too, but. Why did you feel the need that you need to smoke at 10?
Yeah.
That's going crazy.
Well, thank you.
We do understand that we do kind of kill brain cells. Like you said smoking weed made you lazy. I think it's not that it made you lazy. You was already in a lazy state, and then you got high, and then it just compounded it.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. I shouldn't have been in a situation where I should have been smarter about it. But yeah, I was in my years where I just really wanted to travel, be around, my confidence wasn't up. So I thought being around my friends was more important than going to school. Yes, I was one of those kids. And I moved as soon as I turned 20, I moved to New York, and I started partying here in New York, and I actually built a career out of partying.
What?
Yeah, I became a promoter.
Oh, a party promoter. I was just about to say that. Party promoters make a lot of money sometimes, right?
Oh, I made good money.
Yeah, because they always find a lit situation. They are the lit situation, basically.
Yeah, so
Why you didn't keep doing that then? You could have had it your own
What makes
club.
you think I still don't do it?
Okay, let us know.
No, I don't. Not anymore.
Let us know where it's lit at.
I help and run and manage a hospitality business that we have, but I don't go out anymore. Have you ever heard of the term "you've overdone it"?
Yeah.
I overdid it.
I feel like I've overdone it sometimes because I don't go out that much, and I hate going out sometimes. So maybe I feel like I overdid it my first 2 years in college, like freshman and sophomore year. I probably overdid it because when I got to junior and senior year, I was like, I ain't going out no more. I ain't going out no more. But maybe that's because I kind of fucked up and almost got kicked out of school. So it was like, yeah, nigga, you need to chill out.
These are normal things, you guys. These are normal things. But yeah, no, so that was so I did go to school for nursing. Thankfully in Florida, they were paying good at the time. So I was making money, and that kind of replaced it. I was like, you know what, I'm going to just make money here and not go to school. And I did that for a while, moved to New York, took the risk, moved to New York, left my boyfriend at the time. And I just was this girl who wanted to venture on and do things here in the city. And boy, was that scary.
So where are you initially from?
I was raised in Union City, New Jersey.
Oh, okay. You ain't that far. No. I thought she was about to say the Midwest or down south or something.
No, I lived in Florida. I lived in Naples, Florida. That's where my family, kind of stayed for a while, and we bought property. So I guess I would say yes, from Naples, Florida. But Naples, Florida is not what you guys think it is back then. So, from what some people may know.
I never even heard of that spot.
Oh, my God. Naples, Florida.
Never heard of it.
It's like an hour and 20 minutes away from Miami.
Oh, where?
And
so they basically just could consider themselves from Miami then.
Yeah, but
that's the people that be like, "Oh yeah, I'm from Harlem." No, you're not. You from 96th Street. That's how that goes.
Is that where we're going, guys?
Yeah. And people be like, "Oh, I'm from the Bronx." No, you not. You from Yonkers.
Is that where we're going?
That's how that is.
It's far out.
That's how that is.
So, Naples, Florida, if some of you guys want to know, is probably where most of the billionaires hide to go play golfing. Yeah. I was very...
we need to go down there and meet some people.
Yes. If you want to meet some people...
Yes, we do.
And I'm not talking about rich people. I'm talking about wealthy people. A different level.
Different.
You go to Naples.
Oh, man, that's a great segment right there. Because I was going to ask you, what do you think the difference is between wealthy and rich?
Oh, there's a lot of rich people here in New York. You see them walking around.
No, they say this is the wealthiest state, though.
Yeah,
like we have the most richest. We have the most billionaires in New York City.
Yeah.
That sounds crazy. That don't sound crazy to you? Why, if you're a billionaire, do you want to live in the city? I get we're the financial capital of the world, but why do you want to live in the most crowded place in the world?
Ego.
You
cannot get higher than New York. Name me one other place that you can get higher as far as like being the best.
I mean, like we was talking about Dubai. Why not just go to Dubai? It's everything lit over there, right? Everything seemed luxurious over there.
Oh, honey, that's just for visuals.
Yes, it is. But perception becomes reality. Does it not?
I'm not gonna say something not nice on this thing, so I'm just gonna leave it there.
We don't bite our tongue on morals and money. We do not bite our tongue. Because we ain't worried about getting
Dubai
canceled.
is a place where, yes, there's definitely money, oil money and all of that. But you don't see the billionaire. You see the billionaires wanting over there for visual reasons. And the amount of things that you cannot do over there as a billionaire, you think that you can. There are still rules. That is still a Muslim country. You still have to respect their rules.
With the utmost respect. Tell us about your experience, because you said you told me real quick off camera when you went to Dubai. Tell us about your experience. Because what I know about Dubai is you can't even make too much noise or they're going to throw you in jail. So
my experience in Dubai was not positive because I am also a feminist. So I also believe that I should be treated equal, in a way, in the sense like in service. I'm also in hospitality business, or I was for many, many years. And the fact that I was refused a glass of beer because, I get it. They're a Muslim country and they don't believe that they should be serving alcohol to a female. I get it. Totally, maybe I did go to the wrong country. I should have just went there and knew that those were but I just wanted to be treated just like I was back in the United States. So maybe that was my wrong, but I didn't like it. And it wasn't a good feeling to go to another country and be treated like I'm not, like I'm just secondary, from a man. Yeah,
that's crazy. I didn't know they go that hard with the hierarchy of status and male, woman, child.
That's why a lot of the girls, the sugar babies, they love going over there. You know why?
Sugar babies?
You know what sugar babies are.
I know what they are, but I never heard that term, though. We heard of the sugar daddies, but never the sugar babies. That was wild. We coining that one for morals and money. Sugar babies.
That's
all
why.
The joints that want to talk to 40-year-olds, you're a sugar baby. You ain't even a grown adult. You's a sugar baby. You got that from Ms. Jeanette. You's a sugar baby.
For those, you know why sugar babies like going over there and why all these models get paid so much money to go over there? They don't they don't even lift the finger. All the men have to arrange everything for the girls. It's not like the girls can go over there and ask for things. No, everything's already arranged for them. All they have to do is eat, drink, and do all the other stuff I'm not going to mention.
I mean, yeah, I get it. Women like to be treated like that, right? Need your feet up with nothing to do. Let the men take care of everything, right?
Yes, I guess.
That's how all women want to be treated, right?
Yeah, but if you also want to be treated well when you're asking for something.
I mean, that one I'm going to keep to myself, okay? Because if you asking, you're going to take what is given to you.
Anyways, Dubai was not a positive experience. Am I gonna go and am I gonna try it again? Yes, because I do feel that I shouldn't just be small-minded and just think that experience is gonna ruin the rest of my. I am gonna try it and I am gonna go.
Did you hear about the latest news coming from Dubai that they want to make their country like a plane, like a one-dimensional type of place where everybody is in one closed quarters and you can't even see it?
Yeah, I'm actually in architectural design. I aspire to be an architectural designer, and I did actually read about that before it actually became big.
Yeah.
The article that I read was that they're trying. I saw how much it was going to cost, and they were trying
Trillions of dollars.
It's up
What
there.
is a trillion? We don't even know. I'm trying to touch 1 million and 1 billion.
Most people don't know what a trillion feels like.
Word, we would never know.
Anyway, so I did read the article, and it did say that part of the structure, the way it was going to receive heat, was not like, it's not something that's feasible. Like it doesn't. It's out of an imagination. Almost.
Okay.
It's just their way of thinking and the way they structure it was just way too elevated and too advanced. Because the amount of sun that they're going to receive of the way the building is going to reflect out, it's actually going to harm
people.
Not harm people, but harm the environment.
Oh, okay. I feel like they was just watching the movies that came out in 2012, like The Maze and stuff like that, and said, yeah, we're going to mimic that right there. We're going to keep people inside and keep everybody else out.
What's going to happen is that because of the structure of the building, it's a mirror on pretty much essentially on the outside. It's the sun's going to be reflecting in. It's not going to be hurting any of the people inside, but it's going to be heating out the desert. So it's actually going to be heating the earth, that part of the earth, up a little bit.
That is crazy. That is crazy. I don't even think they should. I don't think they should do it.
Well, I mean, definitely do your own research, read your own articles about it. It's very interesting. I think they were thinking way too futuristic. We're not ready for that type of.
Yeah. So what would you say to the people that say that traveling too young, you wasting too much time and money to get to your goals and aspirations?
No, actually, I think the opposite. I think you should be traveling from the ages of like 18 to like 23. If you don't feel like college is your thing, go out, like do that whole live in a tiny van or travel a little bit, go from state to state, go from country to country if you can. It is definitely doable. It's not expensive. It's not what people think it is. I did it. And I met so many people along the way. I met some of the coolest I've been to DR, and I met some of the coolest Dominican people in DR.
We got one in the room.
Oh, yeah, we do. and I'm talking about like the most loving kids, like those kids compared to New York Dominican kids or in the United States, very different.
Yes, they are, because when people get to America, they get Americanized and they lose their minds for some weird reason.
I don't know what that's all about.
I don't either. I'm from America, and I wonder what the reason is too, because not everybody acts belligerent, or not everybody acts ignorant, or not everybody acts like they don't have no home training. So when the kids that do come from other countries come to America and then take on the attributes or characteristics or mentality of American kids, that's why their parents go so crazy on them. Because why are you acting like a child that doesn't have what you have, as in a mother that cares, a father that cares, other siblings that need to act right? You could probably the oldest or whatever the case may be. You could be the middle child. Why are you acting up? You came from like I say, a third world country to where you don't have these privileges and opportunities. Yeah, you say that y'all feel privileged to come to America. We are only privileged to be born here. When you melanated, you don't have no privilege. So why would you come here? Then you already know how Americans could be treated. You already know how they say Black Americans are treated. So why would you come and then take on the attitude of a Black African American?
I also think that
and I put the quotations because you already know what's going on. Check out Breaking the Black Barrier. It's not about just being color. It's not just about the color. It's about, you feel me, being melanated and understand where you're from.
I think one of the experiences that I actually was privileged enough to have during my travels at a younger age was that I actually got to see people that were happier. Yes, they didn't have money, and yes, they were more on the poverty side, or or they were poor, but they were definitely a lot happier. I actually think that we kind of fuck it up for them, or their parents fuck it up because they want to come and make money here in the United States. I get it. I totally get it. I come from that as well. But the moment they come here and they start changing to cater to these, to speak English, to cater to working to the United States, they become these very I don't know, they just look sad. I feel like we get sad when we're forced into this situation where now we have prioritized our entire life into money versus having natural foods and and so just that was my experience. My experience is the difference in going out there and coming back here.
I think it becomes the factor of becoming arrogant, and then you came to America, so now you see how Americans take things for granted, and now that trickles down to you. You get influenced, and people act like influence is not a real thing. You get influenced because if I'm acting ungrateful with my parents or with the things that I have, you're going to start acting ungrateful too because you're now in America. But then this is why they say African parents or Dominican parents or Haitian parents, they'll send that child right back because you've lost the foundation that you came with. And this is what I say we need to reestablish, a strong foundation for each family, each household, whether it's the same or not. It needs to be a strong foundation because then the child will understand, okay, I have something to lay my head on. I have something to lay my hat on, and I know that these morals, these principles and ethics that my parents instilled in me, they're not going nowhere.
Right.
So, yeah, they come here, and I think because the parents are trying to make as much money and work in America, they don't really have as much time with their child.
Oh my God, absolutely.
Their child is more outside. They're more dealing with more American children. So, of course, you're going to take on the mentality of the people that you're around with, right?
Yeah.
They say birds of a feather flock together.
Long story short.
I really don't like that saying too much, but,
Long story short, guys, just leave. As soon as you become of age and you're able to travel, just travel for a couple years. That's my best advice that I can give to you guys. It was the best, and you get to get real life experience, and come back and realize, come with a different perspective. It will definitely build confidence, character comfort. So,
yeah, definitely, it definitely does. One I wanted to get into also is how you feel about a person that is creating more experiences for themselves, but then they are trying to reach their goals and aspirations, go for a job interview, and the person says, you don't have a bachelor's degree, you don't have a master's degree. Do you think that paper is more substantial, has more weight than the person with years of experience? Because I was talking to one of my supervisors, my director, because, of course, like I tell y'all all the time, I work a 9 to 5. So my director told me that she can have a person interview. She can have 2 people interviewing. One person has 5 years experience in the industry, in the field. The other person has a master's degree. She's going to go with the person with the master's degree over the person with the 5 years experience. And I looked at her and was so astounded because she was telling me to go back to school to go get my master's. Why would I go back to school to go more in debt? Like, we talk about being financially free and being your own boss, like yourself. So why would somebody do that? How you feel about that?
Well, I think that with with the whole thing with COVID, it completely switched how the new system of employment that we have now. Now we're capable of working from home and we're able to travel and do Zoom calls and all of that. I think that that is a new way of working now, and we're remote working. And essentially, obviously, if while you're traveling, you should still be building skills. Skills is a new way of making money. Build, use the new technology that's coming. Don't be left behind. Get on that train, because we're still in the early stages of new technology. So you might as well develop new skills while you're also traveling and doing all these amazing things and gaining experience. But no, I do believe that I do believe in financial freedom. I don't have any school debts because I didn't go to school. So I was able to actually put money on the side and actually create this, company or companies that I have that I put an investment in. So yeah, that's actually how I started. I think that if I would have went to school, and which, mind you, it's not for everyone. Some people need to go to school and need discipline, need all those things. That's great. That's nice and cool.
Word, structure. Everybody needs some structure in their life. Right. I would say school gave me a little structure. I would say that.
So, and I think that for me, it was just, I didn't build all of this out of luck, that's for sure. This is hard work, and hard work was developed while, I gained discipline through my experiences, through internship and working for free in other places, while also living on my budget that I was also able to save, and here we are. But, now, you want me to be honest about the whole situation with what you said about the girl? I think that that's really stupid, because nowadays you can literally create an entire resume to make yourself look good. Mm-hmm. Okay, there's new technology where
AI is your best friend. AI can become your best friend.
There's new technology that will falsely make you look so good on paper that you can trick this company into thinking that you're that good. So, and there's YouTube University. So I think everything now, we're in a system and in an era and in new generations where we will be teaching ourselves, because there's so much information, and we live in a time where there's so much information. And if you're not taking advantage, you will be left behind.
That's a fact. I think that I think that we definitely need to tap into all. Of course. Take your sip. I think we definitely need to tap into all the new technology. I ain't gonna lie. I used to be a little nervous about all the new technology, because it's like I'm not technology savvy with it, and I need some more patience, because the shit be making me so angry when it's not working correctly. So I be like, I'm ready to break shit. But why is it that you are not patient now with that technology, but when you were learning how to do AOL and learning how to do MySpace and edit, you were more patient then? What happened? What happened between then and now? I think it's I don't even know. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't even know. I think I got older. And then even with the MySpace shit, it wasn't even that hard sometimes. Or then if it was, I would just send it to my friend.
We need to go back to MySpace and have ChatGPT take us back to MySpace.
Yeah, let's go back in the time machine. MySpace is the shit. Fuck Facebook. Fuck Facebook. Okay, Mark Zuckerberg.
So I actually want to ask you a couple questions. So where are you from? I know you keep bringing up the melon. I know you're American, but where are you from? Where's your family from?
From the Americas. We are Aboriginals, and I have also just found out recently that my grandfather on my mother's side, we have connections to Barbados. So yeah, my great grandfather is from Barbados on my mother's side, and then what I know from the rest of my family on my father's side, we are from the Americas. We are Aboriginals. We are Choctaw.
Do you know how many generations?
From 1850.
Woo.
that's as far as I gotten back so far. I need to go back further.
If that's possible.
Yeah, if it's possible. If it's possible.
6 generations?
My cousin went farther than that, and he got to about 1600s. So yeah, we kind of went deep. A lot of our family is literally
guys.
from here.
You guys need to do that. Like honestly, I started that journey, and it's been amazing.
Yeah, where did it take you to?
Oh my God, I'm as far as like the early 1800s. So far. But we're indigenous people. Like we weren't even now. Some of the indigenous people don't even write. Like they don't even write. They speak a language, but they don't write. You know, they live in a, you know.
They live in a concentration. Little situation.
They're not registered. Is what I'm saying.
Not even concentration. Reservation, and they don't even like that shit. It was actually I was watching a movie not too long ago. Matter of fact, that mentioned my Aboriginal brothers. And they put them in what's the state? Colorado. They put them in Colorado.
What's in Colorado?
Nothing. Nothing. Like they're in a land that is not conducive for them. So
why did they get kicked out? Like what's the story?
I mean, we got a lot of different situations. We got the Trail of Tears. We got what's the war, brother? The Ichorius? Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
The Tuscaroran War, and the Yamasee War, and the Paiutes. But yeah, the Yamasee War, that was a bbig one. So where a lot of our ancestors, because a lot of people from the Choctaw Nation, the Muskogee tribe, is also a part of the Yamasee people. So that war right there took a lot of our descendants out. And then from the Trail of Tears, that's when in the 1800s, what was the president name? I think it was Jefferson or Jackson. I think it was Jackson, matter of fact. Jackson pushed all of us. Yes, Andrew Jackson pushed all of us to the Midwest, and that's why everybody seems to be calling Native Americans only in the Midwest section. And that's why, matter of fact, our brother Kyrie Irvin, his mother is from the Dakota tribe, and that's in the Midwest section.
Oh, that's amazing. We have basketball players that
know themselves. Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
That's yes, I've actually heard of that.
The Lakota tribe.
Yeah, I actually did not too long ago a ceremony with them.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's fire. I need to meet some of them.
Yeah, there's a couple people that I also do plant medicine, so I do
plant medicine.
Yeah, we do ceremony.
Please talk about that, because what's that, CBD?
No, I do peyote.
Oh, please, you see now, you teaching us. You teaching us. Let's go. Class has started. It's in session. Let's go.
Peyote comes from it comes from the desert of Mexico, I believe, or some area, like a lot of areas, and specifically in certain areas in Mexico that are reserved. Mm-hmm. The Mexico Apache, the Mexico government actually takes care of those areas, and actually sometimes they want to fight with the indigenous people there to take it away from them, but the indigenous people actually they fight back.
Yeah. As they should.
Yeah. Unlike in America, it's a lot harder to fight back.
Yes, it is. You basically can't fight back, honestly.
Yeah. Over there, you can have a cousin of a cousin buy the land, and then boom, you have it back in the family. Here, you are definitely out of luck with that.
Yes. And we have to somehow, some way prove that we have the blood.
Yeah, which I find that to be kind of like,
right.
How do you?
Right. It's what we say.
How do you prove that you're this? That you guys know what I mean. What it shocks me. How do you?
We are 1/10 this, or we are 1/8 this. It don't make no sense.
And then a lot of it. Let me remind you guys. A lot of it was not registered.
Exactly.
And they go based on registration, government registrations.
I know.
1/3.
1/3 Choctaw. 1/3 Choctaw allowed people to be on the Dawes rolls. That was the census that they was creating for the indigenous people, the Native Americans. But unfortunately, some of our people want to exclude the rest of the people because their names aren't on it. And they say, you wasn't a part of us, or you don't even, your melanin is too much.
Yeah.
So again, the program is real. It affected everybody.
I know a lot of my family members were mixed with certain family members come from different fathers, and they were actually mixed with the Spanish. And then when they look at me and my sister, they're like, why is it that you look so different from us? And I'm like, well, because my side of, or my DNA is not, it's stronger in the sense of like, but how am I going to prove that?
Right. I mean, we kind of can't. But when there are different fathers, what people don't realize, you are what your father is.
Yes.
And that's coming from the Most High. Whatever your father is, if your father's black, you're black. I mean, your father's melanated. Let me not just say black. If your father's melanated, you are a melanated person.
Yeah.
If your father is not, then you are what he is. If your father is Chinese, you are Chinese. If your father was African, then you are African. If your father is an Aboriginal, you are an Aboriginal. That's how that works. I get we got both sides because both DNAs, both chromosomes, they put together. But what's substantial and more potent for some reason is what comes from the dad. This is why male and female put together, they created the Ankh.
So going back to and that's amazing information because a lot of that I didn't know. And again, I know more about the indigenous side more in Central America.
Yes, and there was a lot.
And then,
I mean, they really come, a lot of the, and it's kind of bad. They don't even like being called Mexicans. A lot of their descendants come from Central America.
Yeah. And well, Mexico used to be one big giant thing. So I don't particularly say that I'm from Mexico. I say that I'm from my family's from Honduras, and we were raised in Honduras, and we come from there. But in all reality, no, we actually come from tribes.
Exactly.
There's no real name for all of those. That just came after the Spanish came and all of that.
Colonization.
Yes, that came after. So even so, I tell people, no, I'm from this region. My family's from this region, and then people still are like clueless. But anyways,
it's because being ignorant. They say, what is it?
No, we're here to spread.
Ignorant is just not knowing, right? It's not knowing information. But ignorance can be bliss because people want to stay in the ignorance. I used to be one of those people. I used to say, if it don't affect me personally, I don't care. But that's when I was 14, 15, 16, an immature teenager. And people used to say, before you get to 25, you're not, you feel me? Your brain ain't even developed. You're not a full adult. All right. So everybody that is 21, 20, 22, 23, 24, yeah, you're in your 20s, you're in your early 20s, you're an adult, all right? You're considered an adult by the world, by the masses. But like I say all the time on our show, your prefrontal cortex isn't developed until after 25, so your decision making, your critical thinking, your analyzing isn't always fully there. So that's why I say, I ain't gonna lie, I feel like I've matured in the last couple years. Like,
good, I'm glad.
After turning 25, I feel like I've really not coming to myself, but I am coming into who I am.
Do you think do you believe that your ancestors are helping you and guiding you through your knowledge, new knowledge?
My ancestors and the Most High definitely do. I definitely do it because the reason that I'm even tapping into that is probably one of them in a dream telling me something. Actually,
yeah, I was gonna say peyote actually helps me gain a lot of knowledge in one session.
Yeah.
Anytime I do peyote.
How do you use it?
So peyote is usually smashed, and it's usually prayed for by indigenous, like original indigenous people that eventually do bring it into the United States. I'm not sure if that's completely legal, and I'm not gonna. Please don't think that you can just go to any ceremony and then expect that type of like. No, I really actually don't know. I think it's at the level of ayahuasca where you have to go and travel and and go through the journey of trying it. So far, the ones that I've been doing here have been brought to the United States. Thankfully, I've been, lucky enough to know the people. And so anyway, so it's prepared in a powder form. It's smashed and prepared in a powder form, and they scoop it in. I mean, they do a little scoop. You
drink it?
You you drink it with water. I drink it with water and a little bit of mandarin. I eat a little bit of mandarin too because the taste is not the most pleasant. And it starts sitting into your stomach, and then I think within like the half an hour to 45 minutes, it starts kicking in, and then you start going through a couple doses of that throughout the night. So you'll be doing ceremony from sundown to sunset. I mean, sun down to sunrise. And you'll be, in that state with peyote. And peyote, to me, I find it to be very interesting because it not only makes you understand what you're praying for, but it truly makes you understand that you do have all the answers inside, and they kind of surface up, all the answers that you want from some, maybe a difficult situation that you're going through, or maybe through health or whatever. Like my sister not too long ago, she really wanted to know a little bit about her and her past lives, and she was able to get a little glimpse of what that was for her. And back, I don't know how many past lives ago, but she believes in that, and that was able to give her a little glimpse. I'm not saying it's psychedelical or like a psychedelic where you see like things. No, it's more of an understanding and more of a type of dedication and prayer within yourself. So you are able to understand knowledge that you wouldn't in any way, shape, or form understand if you were just distracted by the world.
And what got you into that? What got you starting to do that?
Oh, it's been happening for thousands and thousands of years. I just went ahead and got, knew that was part of my culture and just decided that I was old enough to do it, and and that I was strong enough to do it. And then, and I also have a lot of family trauma that I really wanted to heal, and I didn't think that it would be appropriate to go to another human being who also makes mistakes and makes mistakes in life. And even though they're school qualified to be a psychologist or a therapist, I just didn't think that I should be sitting telling a therapist my internal traumas. They're not going to help me. They're just going to relieve my sense of belief for the time that I'm paying them an hour or 2 hour session.
Right.
And so I just felt like, okay, well, if my ancestors knew that there's knowledge in plants, which comes from the earth, which comes from the universe, why would I not do that? And they've been doing that. They've been a lot of, in my case, in Honduras, we have our calendar, our famous calendar, the Mayan calendar that everybody knows about. Where do you think that came from? That came from them doing plant medicine and ceremony. Math, we're considered the most advanced civilization in math. Where do you think that came from? That didn't come from literally praying. No, that came from knowledge. Yeah. And knowledge is provided by plants. And that's how I believe it. And I do make a lot of my biggest decisions in life when I'm doing plant medicine with other indigenous people.
That is very informative, for real. I did not even know nothing about that.
It's like it's a softer version of ayahuasca. I would say it's a softer version and not so heavy with the purging and all of that.
So you would say, would you say therapy is good to?
Yeah, I think therapy is good if you can find the right person that's going to help you. But if you can do the healing on your own, or if you can try other ways to do it in the most natural form where it's you, yourself, and you dealing with certain traumas, I think that's much, much more helpful. And then maybe going to your therapist and talking to them and saying, hey, this is what I experienced. This is what I felt. I felt like this. And then they can maybe surface up more on a doctor's level of and making you understand why you felt those things and all of that. So I do think that a combination of both is very important.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Because we be telling people all the time, like, if you got a hard time dealing with your own emotions, dealing with your own thoughts, your anxiety, you should go talk to somebody. I mean, they don't have to be a therapist. It just go express yourself to the best person you feel like you trust the most. Like, a lot of kids nowadays, and again, that's why we started this podcast, to talk to the youth, really, even though we got adults watching, we appreciate everybody that's been watching. We want the kids to understand, like, you got to let out your emotions, right? And the way that they are letting them out is the wrong way. Like, they go about it with, like we said, the drug usage and going outside and turning to the street life, even though that's regular from any state, any big city, any suburbs nowadays. Like, the street life is prevalent, but they turn to the street life because they don't have nobody in their home to really give them no love and guidance. So if you don't have nobody to talk to, go find somebody. Please go talk to your nearest guidance counselor or something. Like, open up to somebody, because it's a lot of people, a lot of young people that's doing a lot of harmful things to themselves.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when I was a little girl, I had to see a couple therapists and psychiatrists because I was going through some issues, and the city provided that. The city of Union City or Newark, I'm not sure, they provided resources for me to help me get through whatever I was going through at the time at a very young age, and that helped me actually get through it and then now become an adult. So it does help, but I definitely think that, you know, if you need to speak to someone, definitely find someone, or the gym.
Yeah, definitely. Working out has helped me. Like I said before, I used to not work out. I didn't even think working out would help somebody's mental atmosphere, their mental space. You feel me? Have you feeling more, like, really have you feeling more happy or more energized? I didn't realize that until I started really going to the gym this past year, because even when I played ball, I used to hate going to practice. I hated running all the time. Like, you want to just play the sport. You don't want to always go to practice. The people that love practice are the people that made it to the NBA. Or at least, I mean, half of them, because I ain't gonna lie, not a lot of them like practice either. You feel me? Don't sit here and lie. People got there because of their God-given talent also. And that's why I say the Lord put me in certain places for a reason. Everything happens for a reason, because if it was my choice, I would have been playing basketball, right? But that ain't happened. I'm here, you feel me, giving out this message, talking to Ms. Jeanette, and we trying to make an impact on the world. So, yeah, working out will definitely provide that, because, one, you're going to like yourself, you feel me, you're going to like how you looking. When you do get the gains that you want, you're trying to lose weight, you're going to, you feel me, feel better, you feel me, we already established that America has an obesity problem, a diabetes problem, a cancer problem. So, yeah, working out and eating healthy, and, you feel me?
I currently have my brother that's I currently have a brother. I'm not sure what his situation is now, but I kind of see his process turning around. He's currently an alcoholic. I had to distance myself from him because, you know, he needs to go on that journey on his own. We did everything that we could to help him, you know, took him to rehab, the whole nine, right? But then at some point, you know, if someone doesn't want help, or if someone wants help, they'll guide themselves. I feel like, you know, they'll guide themselves through it. It's either they want it or they don't want it. He wants it. He wants to get better. So one of the things I noticed that he first, you know, took the route to try to get in the better for himself was he started going to gym. And oh my God, I recently saw a picture of him. Looking and good. He looks so good. You know, he looks strong, so tall, and like, you know, physically, he just, it like transformed him.
More toned up.
Yeah, so I think that's helping him.
Y'all know what's going on. I'm trying to get right too.
So that's definitely helpful, you know. So yeah, that's why I mean, like, that's why I'm an advocate for, like, hey, if you're feeling depressed or whatever, okay, just go to the gym, I get all that out, you know.
That, you feel me? You could, if you really angry. One time I got so mad in the house, I'm like, all right, let me just go to the gym. Went to the gym. I'm throwing up the weights like this. Like, if this was somebody's face, I'd be like really giving it to him. Like, I'm getting out everything, and I just felt so much better. And then as I went out throughout my day, you feel me? I'm not taking out that bad energy out on nobody else. You feel me? That's how things turn left even worse, because you having a bad disposition, you go outside in the world and then the world feels your energy and gives it right back to you.
Have you ever noticed that like people that go to jail and then they obviously the only thing that they have for entertainment is the gym? They actually, and then later down the line, 20 years, you interview them. They're like, yeah, you know, I'm a turned person. You know, I'm all about, you know, this. Why? Because they had no choice but to get better. And part of getting better is making sure you have air, or you're able to breathe a certain way, or you're able to release certain energy and negative energy. Otherwise it builds up, you know, and then it actually gets you really sick. It actually physically gets you really sick. So you don't want to hold on to certain energies. It can build cancer. It can build tumors in your body if you hold on to certain, you know, negative energy. So it is very important to release that negative energy. That way you can move on and release that trauma.
Definitely. All right, so before we close out, I want to ask you one last good question real quick. Because you mentioned being a feminist, and that kind of stuck in my head. So what would you call, what is your definition of a real independent woman?
That's a tricky one.
I know.
That's a tricky one because I feel like feminists are people that or women that are forced, or they were forced at a very young age, or their little child self or child female self, to be in a situation that they weren't really meant to be in, or they were meant to be in, but they didn't really have an option. And then here they are, this little child growing up to make a bold statement and a statement for the world, so they can. It's interesting. I mean, that's my perspective, to be honest. I'm a feminist in my own way. I think there's different versions of being a feminist to, you know.
Because you said you was married.
I am married.
A lot of feminists are not.
I am married, but there are, for example, I work, and right now it is 8:57, and I'm probably gonna leave here by 9:30. Most likely, food is gonna be taken care of.
That's good.
So, and then if
he cooked for you, or
he'll cook out? Either one or the other, because he knows that I'm still at work, and so we gotta eat. And so for him, he's a supporter of feminist. So he allows me to be in my element, my creative process, my entrepreneurship, my business mind. And he's like, well, she's at work and she's taking care of her clients. So therefore, I'm at home chilling, watching a basketball game. I should probably be kind and make something for both of us. Now, if he was at work, I would be doing that. So I think that we're there. But a feminist also means that they're independent feminists. I truly feel that stems from being in a tough situation when you were a little kid, that you were forced to be in, that you didn't have an option, and then you grow up to be this.
That is a good synopsis and analyzation of it, because I kind of feel the same way. I think that a lot of women, or a lot of feminist women, they have a lot of trauma from growing up, or a lot of things that they wanted to happen and it just never happened, or maybe they seen a bad situation growing up, as in their parents and things like that, so they became a feminist. Because my definition of a feminist is a woman that doesn't need a man, right? You believe that men are trying to use a woman. So the fact that you're married, and when you said that your man is supportive, and that's what he should be, as you working and doing your creative process and having your own business and things like that, y'all should be supporting each other. That's what I feel like. That's what a relationship is. It's a support one and support the other. I pour into your cup while you pour into mine, so we could have abundance of things.
Yeah, I definitely agree there. I'm a feminist also because I don't support how we as humans have become so animalistic about our sexuality, and I don't agree with, my biggest thing of being a feminist is I just don't agree with how girls are being traded and trafficked and all of that.
That's crazy. That's super crazy.
And I want to hear about situations where men are being trafficked.
Oh no, that's happening. That's happening.
I want to hear more about that.
I don't think it's really men that's being trafficked.
You know
I think
what
it's
I
little
mean.
boys. It's the little boys.
But, yeah, and I do, and I get it.
Yeah.
And that is fucked up. But yeah, I think that's my reasoning of being a feminist. So all right.
I get that, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
I appreciate the conversation. I appreciate you utilizing this space. And we out.
Yeah, it's nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you, and we're going to do this again.